welcome to Winfield's week of Rugby League, a week that includes the all-important return Winfield State of Origin clash at the SCG between New South Wales and Queensland. We'll have all the highlights of the big one for you. Also, the highlights of the Saturday match of the day between Canterbury Bankstown and Penrith, the State Bank big game on Sunday between Eastern Suburbs and North Sydney, plus all the highlights of all the other games that add up to Series 16 of the Winfield Cup. But our week did start last Tuesday under lights at the SCG. 42,000 people were on hand hoping for a New South Wales victory.
There's the toss. And it would appear that Wayne Pearce has won the toss. Both captains shake hands. Barry Gomersall from Queensland in charge of tonight's fixture. Referee Gomersall checks with each team as players try to settle the butterflies. Now, Mr. Gomersall blows time on. We're underway, the Winfield State of Origin match number 2 for 1987. Down for Gene Miles. Look at that water. Very slippery conditions as Miles is caught. Canescu at dummy half. Belcher kicks, turning New South Wales back. Gary Jack, and the referee has signalled a penalty to New South Wales. Michael O'Connor straight away, first opportunity to put points on the board. He's been practicing his goal kicking every day, and this is about the angle he's been practicing too, just outside the quarter line and about 18 or 20 metres in from touch. And he makes no mistake. That's a beautiful kick from O'Connor. New South Wales put early points on the board.
Certainly a great kick, never touched the sides.
Pass back for Farah, the clearing kick from Farah. Down for Shearer. All those New South Wales players are offside. He's failed to penalise them. Now they're onside as he's run the required 5 metres. Bobby Linden, a dummy half. Scampering the very narrow blind to make a couple of metres. Now Martin Bella. The blue jumpers are there to meet him. Look at this solid defence on Dowling. 3 of them in there to push him back. Langer, across to Lewis. Across for Gary Jack. The ball rolling towards the touchline. It'll pull up though. Gary Jack has it. And straight away he's caught. Miles up there to make the tackle. Andrew Farah. No one back there to help him, and the Queenslanders swarm on him. New South Wales already leading 2 points to 0. 5 metres out from their own line. Jarvis straight into the Queensland forwards. Vaughton and Bella there to take him. 10 metres out from the New South Wales line. Sterling, who's 27 today, his birthday. Happy birthday, Peter Sterling. And the birthday kick finds touch just inside the Queensland half. New South Wales on the attack, Darryl.
Peter Sterling now unloads the ball, and New South Wales bunched up. They're unloading it pretty quickly as Brian Johnston takes the ball and makes a half break there too. Well, Jack Gibson, an amazing start to this game, and a very revved up crowd here at the Sydney Cricket Ground as we see New South Wales pour it on.
Well, that too for the goal's going to play an important part. I don't think there's going to be many tries scored tonight.
Kenny unloading now, and he gets it out to Pearce. No, that's not Pearce, it's McGaw. McGaw wrapped up and thumped down too in the middle of the mud section there, just inside the 22. New South Wales inside the Queensland danger zone as they pour the ball down now, and there's a scramble in the mud and the splash and all the water, and New South Wales applying plenty of pressure. Gary Belcher with the ball. New South Wales will play it though, and they're only 14 metres out from the line. Simmons at dummy half, gets it out to Kenny. Kenny now looking to unload a beautiful ball for McGaw, but they read it too well, and the Queenslanders thump him down. New South Wales prepared to throw it a bit too as a little chip kick comes through from Sterling, and it just stopped dead. Just hit the water and stopped. And Belcher will play it. He's hurt too in the tackle. Belcher plays it right on his own line as Shearer makes a break across the field, but he's easy pickings running side on. But they've stolen the ball. New South Wales have been chances. 6-0 now, New South Wales. Here it is again now. They were easy pickings, as I said, running sideways. He lost the ball. Quick unload from Kenny. Kenny got it to Johnston. Johnson gets to Farah. That's 4 points for the Blues.
Well, he just fumbled here on the fence and they went through for a boundary. Went right through. 4 points.
O'Connor with a very difficult attempt here now. Right on the 22, about 2 metres in, maybe a metre and a half in, so at a very, very acute angle. The ball not too heavy yet, it's certainly got the height. Let's have a look, waved away, so the score remains New South Wales leading Queensland 6-0. Wally Lewis now restarts for Queensland. The score 6-0. Gary Jack takes the ball, quickly unloads it out here now to McGaw. McGaw stood up and he's driven back, but he manages to swivel to make sure he goes down. Slippery conditions here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The atmosphere unbelievable. This crowd really revved up. Royce Simmons, dummy half. Gets it out now to Jarvis. Jarvis on that 22 line, but they hold him inside. He'll play it right on the 22. Simmons now, dummy half. Simmons goes for a scamper, only a couple of metres in it. Sterling now, dummy half. Back it goes to Gary Jack. The really big kick now, and look at that, it's got a bit of distance. But no, a penalty to Queensland, and that's the first one of the match.
Well, they got the Queensland. They got the penalty, Queensland, for the same situation that he would in New South Wales one. They jumped in front of the kicker before the ball was played.
Well, this crowd, Jack, really revved up. Plenty of emotion out there, not just on the playing field. Colin Scott, of course, brought into this side to replace Tony Curry for this reason to kick. There it is. Has he got it? No, waved away.
Finally, Queensland hemmed about 12 metres inside New South Wales half. 6 points to nil. New South Wales lead. Oh, some heavy defence from Boyle and Folkes as well. Now Gilmister flicking the ball away with one hand, knocked back by Vaughton. No knock on, but Vaughton's run into a heap of trouble as Boyle and Sterling came over and buried him. Now Lewis across for Miles. Pass has gone astray. Dived on by Royce Simmons for New South Wales. So the Blues come away with it again. Oh, a heavy tackle. Gilmister getting right underneath Andrew Farah. Now Davidson. 11 metres short of halfway. Back for Jarvis. Through one. Caught by Vaughton, 5 metres short of the halfway mark. It's across for Sterling. Linking up with Gary Jack. There's the pass across for Farah. Farah's kick is along the touchline. Belcher is to it. And Belcher runs into a wall of blue jumpers. Well, two of them anyway, look like a wall, maybe a little wall. Finally put down, only 11 metres out from his own line. Here's Vaughton. Bounced off Davidson. Held though by Sterling. The water continues to come from the boots as Dowling was buried. Back for Lewis. Harry Jack perfectly positioned to take the kick up to the halfway mark. Dummy to O'Connor, continued on his own. A good run from Gary Jack. Now O'Connor from dummy half, down the blind side, beats two, up to the corner line. O'Connor, look for support. The pass is inside for Johnston. And Johnston is caught. New South Wales throwing the ball about well, 10 metres short of the Queensland line. The Blues lead 6-0. It's to Sterling. Across for Kenny. Across for McGaw. McGaw caught. Now Simmons still running to the right-hand side, working a run-around move. The pass has gone astray, picked up by Langer for Queensland. Jackson thrown. You need a snorkel. I hope he can swim, this fellow. Now Bella standing very strongly in patches, this fella, Jack.
He's in patches of water. He'll sink down a few inches. He's about 17 stone.
Now Lewis. Jack waiting for it, but it's over his head. 5 metres out from his own line when he's picked it up. Made the quarter line. Good run again from Gary Jack.
Here's Boyle again going up. Oh, what a big hard tackle too from Gilmeister, the eastern suburbs boy. Plenty of defence coming in from Queensland. Both sides throwing everything at it. Gilmeister again. Almost worked their way out of the 22, but they've decided to put the boot to it. Andrew Farrow. Farrow drives it down. Belcher, though, will take it just outside his 22. He returns it. So we don't see a lot of kicking like this in Sydney football, but takes it off the chest, Gary Jack, and runs it too. He's an exciting player, Gary Jack. By geez, he'll try anything. Roy Simmons creeps a couple. Well, Ian Maurice, we've seen it all. We've seen good handling in the conditions and a lot of kicking in this game so far.
Yeah, plenty of ball being turned over in tackles. And I guess you've got to expect that in conditions like this. Now here's New South Wales leading by 6 points to 0, and play situated 10 metres short of the halfway mark in New South Wales territory as Farah tries to wrestle his way towards the halfway mark. That's across to Davidson. In fact, he flicks that ball back, picked up by Jarvis. He's gone without it. Luckily, Wayne Pearce was there for New South Wales to dive on. Here's Simmons scampering along the blind side. Difference of opinion back in midfield as play continues. Scramble for possession again. The players have disentangled themselves. Referee Gomesol's ignored the blue altogether. Now here's Magore to O'Connor. Gee, beautifully picked up by O'Connor. The man has possessed with magnificent hands. Now Sterling getting it away to Boyle. Blindside is Sterling. Little step, finds himself in the gap, the pass to Johnston, and Johnston was very nearly through. They're to the Queensland quarter line now. Folks getting it across to Jarvis. Pass has gone astray, dived on by Boyle. Last tackle signal for New South Wales. To Sterling, tried to kick, it came off the edge of his boot, went nowhere. And Queensland come up with it via Gene Miles. Now Dowling. Dowling is caught 8 metres short of the halfway mark. Back for Lewis. His kick is back there for Gary Jack. And by the time Jack gets to it, he's about 11 metres out from his own line. Now he links up with Farah. Farah stepped out of one. Still going, Farah. Good run from that fellow. He made it about 15 metres in that run. Now it's with Pearce. Magore. Magore steps beautifully, linking up across the back line to O'Connor. O'Connor's got support. He's over the halfway mark. Back in field goes O'Connor. O'Connor still stepping and still going and still running strongly. Where's the support? There it is. It's dropped to the ground, but a brilliant run from Michael O'Connor. Folks couldn't handle it. Folks is injured.
32 metres out from the New South Wales line. There's a mishandle. Sterling makes a break. He takes the ball. Sterling puts the ball in the total now. There's the chase. Back they go, Queensland, and they cover up through Dale Shearer. Well, he just dived and slid onto the football.
Play situated about 15 metres out. Enescu made about 5 metres. Now Langer a dummy half to Lewis. Lewis stands in the tackle. Able to offload to Gilmeister. He's put down. Pressure mounting again for New South Wales as it comes across. Well, there's an awful mix-up there as Dowling tried to kick it. I don't know if it goes to come off his boot, but now New South Wales have it. No, they've lost it. Queensland's lost it. Stacks on the mill. 6 tackles to go, says the referee. Queensland come up with it. I thought there was a Queensland knock on him there. Referee doesn't agree. He's the man that counts. Charge at the line.
Down, try, I think.
And he's ruled a try. New South Wales disputed, but referee Gomesol has awarded a try to Shearer. Here it is. Watch Shearer. Head down. The ball is not down yet. It's down now, though. I think that's a good decision, Jack. Colin Scott included as a kicker, although I think it would be fair to say that not many would recognise Colin Scott as one of the all-time great goal kickers. This kick could tie the score, and it hit the crossbar. Well, that's how heavy the ball was. So it remains 6 points to 4 in favour of New South Wales.
Canescu play it back to Langer. Langer fires one out for Dowling. He turns it back inside, but there's too much defence for Bobby Lindner. Canescu looking for the runners. Oh, there's an intercept! Oh, intercept from Les Davidson. The South Sydney forward gets the ball away, and now they charge downfield. It's a big chance for New South Wales. Everybody running, wait for the set. No, it's too big. Kenny was there, but couldn't get there. Oh, pretty exciting play from New South Wales. They're trying everything. And that man on a dry ground would have got there. And that's the end of the first stanza in a great game. And the score remains New South Wales are leading Queensland 6 points to 4. The players come off for a well-deserved rest.
Now Farah this time kicking. Down for Colin Scott. Back to Belcher. And down it goes again. Gary Jack. Well, the crowd getting right onto these fellas. They don't like this. They want to see a bit of running. Like the old forcings back we used to play as kids, isn't it? Now Belcher again.
Well, he's back to the 10-yard line. He's losing the duel. He's lost it properly.
Charged down by Kenny. Good play from Brett Kenny. Charge Belcher's kick down well. Now Shearer plays it. Doesn't like what happened in the tackle. Here's Belcher. But New South Wales hemming Queensland.
A do-or-die effort from Queensland, and a big hit there from Davidson. Oh, he hit Dowling with everyone like a Mack truck. Queensland again elect to clear it. Gary Jack has got to chase it back right in a mud heap. He picks it up. Runs across field, centre field, out of one, out of two. Gary Jack, he makes a break up centre field. Makes up one, Gary Jack, now he unloads it. Oh, and offside by a mile. Well, he just stood there and waited for the support to come and wasn't there. What a great run under these conditions.
Yeah, it all went down the drain. He put that ball a yard forward, a metre forward.
Oh, he's a great player, Gary Jack. He really has had a great season this year with Balmain, and he's in everything here tonight too. The custodian with safe hands. He's running the ball where he can under these conditions. Now Queensland back with the football. Dowling has belted down. They're almost to the 22. No, midway between the 22. It's hard to pick a line here, let me tell you. Everything's just a mud heap. 6 points to 4. The Blues lead. Can Queensland come back? They've got time. They need to settle their play a little as Jackson lifted up. He gets it out to Miles. Miles unwinds the big man. That's the 22 line you can see now. Now they're deep. Now they look like they can run it. Jackson unloads a ball. Back to Miles. A little short pass. Oh, Langer just holding on as he skidded. And now they've got a chance, Queensland. Miles gets it out to Dowling. And it's there. That's it. Oh, that's a try. Queensland are in and they're back in front. Well, that's the sort of football it's been tonight. State of origin football. They took their chances on the mud heap and they got it. See it again. That was Gene Miles. The power work. Let's see it here. There's Miles. Miles unloads it to Dowling. Dowling held it up and bang, down he goes, the big man. Oh, and that's the one they needed. It was a beauty. Well, they've battled away, Queensland, and they've cracked the try they wanted. Colin Scott. He's in this game tonight for this very reason. Rain's still falling. The crowd giving him every boo they can. He's used to this, Scott. Seasoned campaigner. In he comes. Well, it's a horror. Oh, it's a bad one. And the score remains Queensland 8, leading New South Wales 6. "14 minutes of the match remaining as Vaughton plays it back to Canescu. The change of play now. Langer stabbing, the little man has made the break, and there's the chip kick and the chase is on. Oh, and the big dive in the mud too. And Langer used some intelligent play there. He saw the New South Wales rub and put the little kick through. Watch it again. Here's Langer now. There's a little kick. And the chase was on, and it was oh so close. But look who was there.
Well, he matched him in intelligence as well as ability. Sterling, he saved the 6 points.
Well, the ball again in Queensland's hand. Oh, they've made a mistake. They've put it down. Okay, this scrum now. Midway between the quarter and a half, or maybe a little bit closer to the quarter. Line's very hard to pick up. Okay, New South Wales with the ball. O'Connor. O'Connor just makes a couple of metres and he's put down back to Sterling. Sterling looking for runners. He finds Jarvis. He's worked hard tonight, Jarvis. He's certainly not shirked his responsibility. Outside the rucks, he's run close to the play. New South Wales prepared to run it. Pearce, bustling run from Pearce, but they put him down. Centre field. Midway between the quarter and the half now, New South Wales. Sterling, jinking run, changes direction. Well, tries to unload. Loose ball low, and Bella gets it for Queensland. So, Queensland in possession now. Just under 12 minutes of the match remaining as Dowling takes it up. He's buried down in the mud heap. Replacement player on for New South Wales. Picked it up in a moment for you because Queensland running the ball through Lindner. Barron there to wrap him up. Ball and all. Jackson dummy half, and there'll be a penalty, I think. Calling to play it. Magor is going off, and Des Hasler is on for New South Wales. Des Hasler on. Mark Magor off for New South Wales. And Queensland with the ball very close to the line now. Dowling makes a charge. Dowling almost out of one. They come back and get him though. Canescu, dummy half. He'll run from there. Oh, and oh, so close to Queensland. Playing it back. There's Hasler, a new play. You can see him now. A little fumble. Langer. Back to Gilmeister. Gets it on to Lewis. Lewis on the Miles. A little handball in the ring. Queensland go in again. Colin Scott over in the corner for the banana benders. And that one looked easy. Oh, look at New South Wales. They can't believe it. They can't believe it. Kenny, look at the look on Kenny's face. Gary Jack, Pearce down on his haunches. See it again now. It came out to Lewis. Lewis gets it on to Miles. He basketball, handballs it over, and Colin Scott in the corner.
Well, Miles was in a good position here. He had some momentum when he received the football. It was a little blindside shot. He got it in there. It was good as gold.
Study of concentration now, Jack.
Well, the longer he takes, he's going to eat the clock up too. That helps.
And there it is. It's not a bad-looking attempt, but it's unsuccessful. So the score remains. Queensland leading New South Wales 12 points to 6. 49 seconds, 48 it ticks away.
I think each tick represents a metre, and they're going to get there.
Pearce, little flick pass inside to Boyle. Boyle wrestled down. 36 seconds left on the clock now. New South Wales in possession. Simmons unloads. There's Sterling. Flicks one back for Langmack. Now it goes to Hasler. Hasler really quick. Accelerates there. He tries to unload it. Does so to the Boyle. They're keeping alive, New South Wales. A long floating pass out for Kenny. Kenny now looks for O'Connor. O'Connor takes it. Oh, they wrestle him down, but he just... Well, he's in the touch. He tried to do everything he could to stay in touch, and he couldn't. And the final countdown's on. 8, 7, 6. New South Wales are out of time. We'll have the decider at Lake Park, and I'll tell you what, that will be a beauty. Don't miss it. And look at Queensland rejoice as they come back to the winner's circle. Wally Lewis, Gary Belcher, O'Connor, who played so well, Jarvis with a muddle over his face. An amazing game of rugby league under the conditions. Fantastic football. And look at this, the emotion running high for Queensland as they come off. And look at that for a moment of sport.
The Saturday match of the day at Belmore Sports Ground between Canterbury, Bankstown and Penrith saw the Bulldogs trying desperately to stay alive in the race for the semi-finals in '87. They're up against a Penrith side minus Greg Alexander, and that again was a great opportunity for Stevie Mortimer to put his stamp on the Bulldogs' performance.
The referee this afternoon is Graham Annesley, and we're going to see, in fact, as we spoke about earlier, has been told various things in the past about sides winning the toss and which end they're going to run from. In fact, they're going the opposite way to what we were originally told. Canterbury are going to defend the railway end of the ground in the first half, and Penrith are defending the southern end. So this breeze, what there is at the moment, certainly at Canterbury's back, and after their great win over Balmain last week, it's a bit hard really to see them going down this afternoon. But as I said, Steve, a lot of these forwards have a lot to play for, more than just victory.
Certainly have, David, and, but let's not take anything away from Penrith's side. Even though they have a lot of youngsters out there, I think that their coach, Timmy Sheens, would have said, look, go out there and try to enjoy yourself. They've had disappointments over the last fortnight. Psychologically, they've got to get off to a good start. So I expect the Panthers to throw everything at the Canterbury side within the first 15 minutes and hope they can snatch 1, maybe 2 tries.
David, as the teams ran onto the field, the Penrith lower grades, the reserve grade, lined up cheering the Penrith first graders on 3 out of 3, so they want to clean up in all 3 grades today.
Well, you don't really blame them, and it's a great start. And as you know, Warren, being a captain of Western Suburbs during those great days back in the late 70s, there's nothing better than, or nothing more inspiring than the lower grades both winning.
And it certainly lets you know that you've got to play well to retain your place in first grade.
Canterbury with the ball, down on the Penrith quarter line. Steve Mortimer, away it comes to Hagan, the little grubber kick, down towards the line now, and coming across, they've made a knock on here, and it's Doom loose, and Peter Mortimer has gathered the ball in for Canterbury. 6 to go, says referee Annesley. Potter in a dummy half as it comes away now. That's Terry Lamb, and Lamb's going to be held up only 6 or 7 metres out from that Penrith line. Steve Mortimer, a dummy half. Mortimer's pass comes away to Langmack, and Langmack's chopped down, only a couple of metres out. Bugden in a dummy half, right in front of the goalpost. Mark Bugden on his own trying to squeeze his way over. Steve Mortimer again. The little general, a dummy half, blindside. It comes away. It's a try to Terry Lamb. His 9th try of the year. He's the equal top try scorer, and that is Terry Lamb's century in this year's Winfield Cup competition.
Well, it was a start that Canterbury wanted, really what Penrith could have done without. It was a bad mistake by the wingman, Glenn Nissen, that gave Canterbury the possession, and they applied the pressure, and it was a superb pass. Missed the man out, and Terry Lamb just loves those. I watch it from a different angle. It's a beautiful ball here. You can see he's cut the man out there, and the Penrith centre taking the dummy.
And passing the century, he's only the 2nd man to do so in 1987. Ross Conlon, the Balmain centre and goal kicker, at the moment on top of the point scorers competition with 118. Lamb, 17 metres in, moves in, there's the kick, and he's missed it. So, after a couple of minutes, Canterbury leading Penrith by 4 points to 0. There's Greg Alexander, the whiz kid from Penrith. It's the Canterbury quarter line. Simmons, Fitzhenry, Izzard, back it comes to Van der Voort. Van der Voort can't get his pass away to Nissen, but he got it away to Ackery, and Ackery's got it away out wide here, and this going for the line is Bentley. Bentley's held up, and Bentley's going to be asked to play it only a metre out. A bit unlucky there again, Penrith, and look at that, it was Steve Mortimer who was across in cover.
That was a brilliant cover tackle. That was try for all the world there.
Last tackle against Penrith. Goodwin going straight and hard. Goodwin, can he get the ball down? Let's see what the referee says. Yes, try for all.
Good play by the Panthers. They kept the ball alive. That good long ball out wide, saw that the wingman going in, and then a quick switch out. And that really was great play. And this Nissen has really bounced back after that early mistake. There's a beautiful pass to the big fellow. Here he goes, he's really injected himself. And look at the big fella going in for a try.
Well, Matt Goodwin, the try scorer, of course he retired, or was going to retire at the beginning of this year or the end of last season. Went home to West Wyalong, and there'll be many people out in the West Wyalong area who'd be very happy with that try. But he decided to come back. Oh, that's tragic for Potterty. He missed so much of last year, and possibly even the Kangaroo to it. Played only 13 games last year with that knee injury that he suffered. Got back into City first this year, and then had to withdraw with injury when Gary Worth came in. You really must feel for this young man, because he really is, I think, in the top 3 or 4 fullbacks in the game. Fitzhenry now, the chance to put the Panthers in front. Couple of metres there to the left of the uprights as Fitzhenry comes in. There's the kick, and he's got it. And so Penrith, after 22 minutes, are leading Canterbury Bankstown by 6 points to 4. I might just go down to the sideline because Mick Potter just actually walked past Warren Boland down there. Warren, what was your assessment as Mick was carried? We wished he had walked past. What was your assessment as he was carried past you?
Well, he was certainly in some pain as he went past. Just looking at him, it appears to be the ankle, just above the ankle joint is the problem, and a serious injury, looking at the pain on his face as he went by. Tony Curry, the replacement on the field for Canterbury.
And of course, Tony Curry was Mick Potter's replacement for most of 1986. Canterbury trailing now with Penrith leading by 6 points to 4. Gee, you hate to see injuries like that, don't you? Or any injury you hate to see, but I suppose they're almost the worst type, the fractures.
Certainly are. He's going to take a bit of gloss off this Canterbury side. They really seem to have taken full control of this game, but Penrith, to their credit, they've used their forwards well. They've started running onto the ball with a lot more vigour. And I just got the impression that maybe Canterbury thought that this was going to be a bit of a cakewalk. And they just slackened off. Remember, it was that silly mistake by Tunks that allowed Penrith to apply the pressure for the first time.
There's Timmy Sheens, obviously not overly impressed with his side's opening so far. And Farah's going to play it just inside Canterbury's territory. Steve Mortimer run dummy half. And look at Steve Mortimer go. Almost to the quarter line. Away to Tony Curry. Curry, though, beautifully tackled by Nissen. What a good ball and all tackle that was, as he really took Curry out of the action just as Canterbury looked as if they had a chance, and that loose pass has been dived on, intercepted and picked up by the Penrith captain, Royce Simmons.
Well, it's panic football from the Bulldogs at the moment. Steve Mortimer make that magnificent break. There you see the long ball here coming from Jarvis. It really wasn't on. And the hooker straight onto the ball.
Shades of M. Stevenson in the same coloured Guernsey.
Has a little bit more hair than me.
Yeah. Cartwright. That was a good pickup though, and what a good tackle from young Nissen. Hasn't he had a big game this afternoon?
Certainly has, and you'd think that he could have gone to water.
Now here's Geyer. What a pass that was from Izzard. It comes away now towards the Curry. Curry's got the pass back on the inside, and that's Bentley. And Bentley's going to be asked to play the ball down on the Canterbury quarter line. Curry, away it comes to Robards. He elects to put the ball high in the air. Tony Curry getting underneath it, and Tony Curry takes that well for Canterbury, and he'll play it only 13 metres out from his own line.
Well, a bit of a wasted kick there, David. They should have applied a little bit more pressure. You see the kick go up here, but there's no Penrith player within Cooey, really. And he'd plenty of time.
Hagan now has the ball for Canterbury. Canterbury, well known as being a team extremely dangerous. 5 minutes before half-time and 5 minutes after half-time. Terry Lamb will come up and have a shot at goal for that misdemeanour against Brad Izzard for not allowing the player to get up and play the ball.
Well, he was late into the tackle as well, and there you see him just rolling himself all over the top. And often some of these players, they try to become over-professional.
So Terry Lamb from about 27 metres out, just to the right of the uprights. It's very high, it's straight, it's 2 points. And with 4 minutes remaining in the first half, Canterbury Bankstown and Penrith are locked together at 6 apiece. So Canterbury with the ball, and what a good fend that was from Andrew Farah. In the end, he didn't gain any territory because he ran straight across field, and he's still going to play it, or did play it, on the quarter line.
I think their coach Warren Ryan, David, has well, probably thought in the first half that with this youngster.
What a lovely piece of football from Peter Tunks. Not only was it a great run, a great pass, and a beautiful pass to Hagan, and that's why Tunks will be back on that New South Wales side on July the 15th. As Peter Mortimer has it, Peter Mortimer showing the ball on the outside, and he's got it just inside Penrith's territory. Lamb at dummy half. Steve Mortimer, back it comes now towards Farah. Farah now, a little run. The jink back on the inside. He's got it within 32 metres, though, of the Penrith line. Last tackle, and it's a penalty against Penrith right in front of the posts again. Terry Lamb only has to take the last mound about 4 metres to his right and about a metre forward. He'll certainly have the range. Can't be too far away with this one. Almost identical to the kick that he had only a minute back, which levelled the scores. Terry Lamb. Lamb moves in. There's the kick. He struck it beautifully, and he's got it again. 2 more points. And so with 3 minutes remaining in the first half, Canterbury are leading Penrith by 8 points to 6.
Well, the Panthers probably a little bit despondent over that. Canterbury will be looking to try to get some more points on the board.
Lovely pass from Izzard away. It went from Ackery. Back it goes to Izzard away to Robards. Robards pass out wide. It can't be picked up on the bounce by Robinson, but he's collected at the second attempt. Robinson coming back across the quarter line. He's hardly had much to do, Robinson, in the first half, but if that had been a good pass, it would have been a Panther try, but they've still got a chance. They're 18 metres away as it comes from Fitzhenry. The ball comes out now to Geyer, and Geyer's taken by the Bulldogs, almost on the Canterbury quarter line. And keep it going the same way through Fitzhenry. He puts the little grubber kick in for the corner. Curry getting back into the end goal area. It's a try! I'd say it's a try! Nissan's dived on it as Curry was taking his time, and it's a fair try to Penrith. Curry, he's made an absolute meal of that, and Penrith are leading 10-8.
Beef curry, chicken curry, call it what you like.
All adds up to the same thing, and that's exactly what the Canterbury fans have got.
Deary me. It won't be a hot curry. It will when he talks to his coach at half-time break. This was irresponsible and good play by the wingman. He's made up for it. A bad mistake and good thinking by the wingman here. But oh, dearie me, Mr. Curry. Oh.
Here comes Fitzhenry from out on the touchline. The chance, it's going to swing away. And so at half-time, well, it isn't half-time yet, although the clock says it is. There goes the siren. It is half-time. Referee Graham Annesley says that's enough. And as they go in, Penrith, with that try scored right on the bell by Glenn Nissen, are leading Canterbury Bankstown by 10 points to 8.
Well, the bad news on Michael Potter is that he has a fractured fibula, the lower bone in the leg, and he's off to hospital. It doesn't look too good for Michael Potter at all. The message from the Canterbury dressing room was basically stick together and stick at the task. No particular tactical information, simply stick to the job because they must win this game. On the other hand, Penrith, well, as Steve-O mentioned, kick and chase with the wind, cut out all the penalties in their own half.
Bugden tugs, and that's Van der Wert right round his bootlaces. Tackle number 5 against Canterbury, and Farah gets his kick in. I don't think it's going to find touch. Nissen, though, deciding in the end just to fall on that ball, making sure that he secures possession. Robards from dummy half, wrapped up by Peter Mortimer. Fitzhenry comes away now towards Curry. That's Darren Curry. Oh, high tackle there by Jarvis. Shoulder, but certainly the tackle finished up a bit high. Nothing malicious or anything in it. It comes away now to Fitzhenry. It's a good ball and all tackle. That one again, that was Jarvis involved. Last tackle against the Panthers. As it comes to Izzard. Izzard's out of one, and he throws that long pass that comes to Nissen. And Nissen's going to be back slammed into the ground there, and it's going to be possession to Canterbury. And this will be a penalty, and it's again, well, he had to give the penalty.
No doubt about it, David. But bad tactics by Penrith there. They're leading by 2 points. They should have used the kick. And that was an irresponsible play by Izzard. He had all the time in the world to get that kick in and decided to try to beat the man. And really, it was a nothing pass out to the wingman. He was going nowhere.
So Canterbury now with a chance. They've got it 32 metres out from Penrith's line, and that's Bugden. Way it comes to Steve Mortimer. Down the centre now comes Langmack, and Langmack's going to be held up and asked to play it. 32 metres out. Switching it back the open side now as it comes from Hagan. Out it comes now, even wider now to Whitfield, and that's a good piece of football as he's got the ball away now towards Curry. Away it goes to Farah. Farah down the right wing. The pass has come back inside at Terry Lamb. After the ball had passed the Penrith player and scored the try. That's his second of the afternoon, and the Bulldogs are back in front.
A great try to Bulldogs. That really was tremendous football. And good play by Curry. He's made up for it for that bad mistake just before the half-time break. But you can put this try down to the Englishman. Watch the skill of Whitfield, the centre. The ball spills out wide. Here you see him get in here. He escapes the would-be tacklers. And this is a beautiful pass, one-handed outside to Curry. Curry held the ball up correctly. Farah, realising the cover was coming over, it came off Izzard's fingertips, and the man who's always there, Terry Lamb, finishes off his second try. Now watch this beautiful play here. Winfield palms off. He realizes he can't get his way. One-handed out to Curry. Good position by. And here he comes, the big fellow. Beautiful ball inside. It makes no difference.
Try number 10, that's his second of the afternoon there, Terry Lamb. So he's now on top of the 1987 Winfield Cup try scorers competition, or the table. He started off one behind Brian Johnston today, but those two take him to the top. He's trying to convert his own try. He struck that pretty well. It looks pretty good. It is. What a good kick. What a great kick. And Canterbury are back in front by 4 points. They lead Penrith by 14 points to 10. Almost a feeling of deja vu, Steve-O, because it was in the opening 5 minutes or so that we saw Canterbury get away to lead 4-0. The forwards really have done their job. As Whitfield gets his kick in, coming over towards Mark Robinson. Oh, he's been wrong-footed by that, but O'Brien is offside, and so he had to go back the 5 metres. And a good run by Robinson. He's got it all. Oh, he's still going, Robinson. Can he get his pass away? Yes! The ball's come away now to Darren Curry. Curry's still going. Curry down, gets inside his namesake, and he's going to play the ball on the quarter line. Canterbury's end of the field as it comes from Izzard. Fitzhenry. Fitzhenry's pass comes away. Robards. And Robards is going to tackle, or going to be tackled and played just outside that Canterbury quarter line. Simmons now taking it up as Geyer, 18 metres away. What a great run from Robinson, and just as good a run from young Curry. Fitzhenry.
Well, this is where Penrith have to put on the move now. They're in a great position.
Cartwright taken underneath by Hagan and over the top by Steve Mortimer. Last tackle against the Panthers. Simmons now decides he'll put the bomb up. It's a high one. It's coming down just outside the goalpost. It stacks on the mill, picking it up and going through, but the referee's going to rule interference. Interference against the Panthers, saying that as Curry went high and Farah was also involved. Now look at this. There's the kick.
Well, Simmons was a good kick here, but I think you'll find Goodwin. Now Curry coming into it. And it was the centre.
Bentley there pushing Curry out of the road, not really going for the ball. Fitzhenry again tries to work the run round, but Bentley decided to go on his own. Fitzhenry a dummy half. Van der Vert. That's good ball on all defence from Chris Mortimer. Simmons. Fitzhenry puts the ball into the end goal area. Getting back there is Tony Curry, and that time he volleyballs the ball across the dead ball line. And listen to the ironical cheering from the Canterbury Bankstown crowd, who won't let Tony Curry forget that incredibly poor error that he made and allowed Penrith to get back in front right on half-time.
Well, he certainly won't let him forget this one, but he certainly did the right thing. And there was never going to be any doubt about it. Well, this is their big chance, David. They've got to find touch, apply the pressure, and make sure they keep down there.
So Fitzhenry going to kick for touch. A couple of players warming up on the touchline there. Not sure whether Warren's been able to work out what we might perceive out there in the way of changes for the Penrith lineup. I noticed that I think Doug Delaney's one of them down there. He's the captain from the reserve grade side, and of course they won the reserve grade Penrith. But they've got a chance here, and that's Robinson. Robinson slipped the ball away, and there's a Van der Vaart. Van der Vaart for the corner. And what a magnificent cover defensive tackle from Steve Mortimer. That was vintage Steve Mortimer. Memories of the 79 grand final. Look at this. This is great football from Penrith, and look at the superb cover from Mortimer.
What a beautiful pass by Robinson. And this young lock forward, well, he's had a great game, but that was a great tackle. Well, there he is, the man that's got all the problems at the moment. They realise they've got to get those valuable 4 points. That's what they trail to the Bulldogs. 14-10, Canterbury lead. And for once, the referees caught that little short forward pass.
It's interesting to note too.
Well, they've got away with it a few times this year, and quite frankly, I think they got the bad end of the stick that time.
Interesting too. Well, now we see Canterbury with a chance. Is this going to be the ball game for them as it comes away now out wide? And Farrah's going to be tackled 11 metres out as it comes now towards Tunks, and Tunks down the centre. It comes back to Steve Mortimer. Steve Mortimer's got it away. Now it's with Hagan. Now it comes to Whitfield. It goes to O'Brien. O'Brien away from Izzard, but Izzard sticks to him like glue and puts him across the touchline. And so play will restart with the scrum. Good football, Izzard. O'Brien really is, well, on most occasions, you'd back O'Brien in from there.
Certainly would, and it's good play by Canterbury, keeping the ball alive here. Once again, you see the problems that Penrith have in the first tackle, and it's left up to the cover defence all the time.
Van der Voort in a dummy half, but it comes now, and Goodwin's knocked it on. The ball's gone loose, and I think Canterbury have got it. They have. Only 9 metres out from the Penrith line as it's going to be played by Winfield. Steve Mortimer. The pass comes away. Terry Lamb. Terry Lamb still going. 10 metres out from that Penrith line. It comes away now from Jarvis. Steve Mortimer. The switch came back towards Langmack. Langmack's wrapped up. 11 metres out. Because a lot of these Penrith players are used to playing only 30 minutes a half in reserve grade. They're starting to get a bit tired as Farrah comes down the centre. And Robards was round the legs that time. Bugden, away it comes to Peter Mortimer, and Peter Mortimer's taken to the ground, and tackle number 5, a couple of metres out. Away it comes now to Steve Mortimer, puts the ball into the end goal area, and it's a try! Chris Mortimer scored the try. That's the ball game. The Bulldogs have got the 2 Winfield Cup points parcelled up. The kick from Steve Mortimer, off the Penrith player, caught by Chris Mortimer, try.
Well, Lady Luck shines upon them. I said earlier, David, that it was probably going to take a mistake that would wrap it up, and that was an awful effort there. Unfortunate. He tried to take it on the full, on the volley, rather than just ground the ball. And there you see Darren Curry. He's had a good game up to now.
So Terry Lamb, the chance to add the extras. There's the kick, he's got it. And so with that conversion, Canterbury are leading Penrith by 20 points to 10. And Terry Lamb so far this afternoon has got 16 points. So he's now moved to within 5 points of Ross Conlon at the leading point scorers competition. I just thought Canterbury were going to win this game fairly comfortably this afternoon, but it's been a great and courageous performance from the young Panthers side.
Certainly has, David, and they certainly haven't been disgraced. And on this performance, with these youngsters, they can look towards the future. I know it's been said many times before, but there's certainly some quality out there on the paddock.
Hasn't this man been one of the finds of the day, Van der Voort? And there's the full-time siren and hooter going in the background. Referee Graham Annesley says that's all we're going to have this afternoon. Canterbury Bankstown run out winners by 20 points to 10. Terry Lamb has scored 2 tries, and the last try, of course, was scored by Chris Mortimer. And Terry Lamb kicking 4 goals for a personal tally this afternoon of 16 points, which took him past the century mark this season. He's now up on 113 points, while for Penrith, Goodwin and Nissen scored the tries, and Fitzhenry kicked 1 goal.
Every week they're at it, never daring to let up. 'Cause winning's the only thing that counts when you're playing for the Winfield Cup. It doesn't matter if you're famous or a youngster making his way. There's only one thing that matters, and that's how well you play. That's what the big game's all about. Giving it the best you can. Always being a leader, never bowing to any man. Giving it all you know, giving it your best shot, making every step a winner, proving what it takes you got. Every week they're at it, giving it their all. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
The Sunday State Bank big game had Eastern Suburbs trying to maintain their good form in recent weeks in staying in the top 3 of the Winfield Cup. North Sydney, on the other hand, were trying to make it 3 in a row for Frank Stanton, but frustration once again for Frank was going to set in late in the game.
The State Bank Big Game presents the Winfield Cup.
Welcome to Henson Park, the venue for this Winfield Cup match between Eastern Suburbs and North Sydney. In the past fortnight, the Roosters have had a bye. Then last Sunday, they had a 20-6 win over Illawarra down at Wollongong. And that's taken them to equal second on the premiership table, along with the Balmain Tigers on 22 points. The North Sydney Bears have, for only the second time this season, won 2 matches in successive weeks. A fortnight ago down in Canterbury, and then last weekend accounting for Cronulla by 16 points to 6. For both games, they were on home territory at North Sydney Oval. The question is now, can they make it 3 wins in a row? Only time will tell. The first round match was very, very close. Eastern Suburbs winning 5-4. East coach Arthur Beetson has named the following lineup for today's clash. Worth, Morris, Smith, Prome, Lydon, Hall, Spina, McGahn captain, Gilmeister, Tobin, Patterson, Truella and Shepherd. Frank Stanton, in his first year as coach at North, has this team lineup. Dorahy, MacArthur, Tate, Casey, Simons, Brett French, Friend, Graham captain, Ian French, Brockwell, Bella, Wright, Blinkhorn. The referee for this State Bank big game from Henson Park is Kevin Roberts. Well, the question is, can North Sydney make it 3 in a row? We'll find out shortly. They're receiving the ball from Eastern Suburbs. The kickoff's been taken by Smith and taken by Mark Graham just outside his goal line. Simon Brockwell running there. He's been made into a forward by North Sydney, coming in as a second rower. Terribly important that Graham go well again today. He's had a couple of strong games for North Sydney. Wearing a lot of strapping on one arm and around the elbow on the other. Back to Dorahy. It's a kick downfield, goes straight to Worth. Worth brings it back. Tackle just short of the halfway line. Gary Prome searching on the left-hand side of the ruck. Stevie Morris, Prome. Trevor Gilmeister comes to a sudden end. Tony Tobin, one of the veterans in this side, been with the club a long while. And there's North Sydney first conceding the first penalty inside the 5 yards. Directly in front of our commentary position, just inside the halfway line. David Smith to take it and finds a steady touch about a gain of about 15 metres from there.
We've already mentioned the value of Mark Graham, a big performance required by the former New Zealand skipper for North Sydney today, but an equally big performance required by the new skipper of the New Zealand side, Hugh McGahn. And Eastern Suburbs, they have a favourite ploy here of working play towards the middle of the post and then switching back down the blind. Normally Laurie Spina is the man to bring it back, looking for the man in question, Huey McGahn.
Gilmeister away to McGahn, back to Gilmeister, on there to Patterson. Patterson gets a pass to Worth. Worth goes close within 2 metres. Tackled there. Now there's quick hands out along the line. Laurie Spina spins, pivots. Tackled in possession, loses a few yards. Truella, McGahn. Brendan Hall. I thought there was a penalty there for obstruction, but the referee thought otherwise. There goes a bomb that hasn't gone quite far enough. Oh, it's shot out the Eastern Suburbs side and comes to, well, he's calling for a change of, that's right, yes, the ball must be put on the ground. A turnover on that occasion. So that was a bit of a shock. Here's somebody going for a big sprint. Nigel Tate goes right up. He's over the halfway line. The inside player, MacArthur's been held back. Should have been a penalty, but the referee's going to play on. Out to Clayton Friend. Oh, the pass was ridiculous. Now he's going to give the penalty. That's because MacArthur was held back on the left-hand side of the field.
And Kevin Roberts calling out number 4. He's actually got Eastern Suburbs for being inside the 5 here, but the penalty should have been given earlier. And 5 minutes in the sin bin now for Gary Prome for holding back John MacArthur.
We've got some idiots here with trumpets who are going to spoil the afternoon for everybody.
Dorothy moves in. Strikes it, so that's it. North Sydney 2, Eastern Suburbs 0. Well, that shows the capability there. He's very nearly got that on the full over the dead ball line. Taken by Graham again. Simon Brockwell running and getting a bit of a serve there with a tackle around the head. Rex Wright. With a Blinkhorn. There's a pass gone astray. It's been dived on. Well, Steve Morris came through like a hawk there and tried to swoop on it, but failed to do so. Evidently knocked on. The player we've got down injured at the moment, I just can't identify. We'll check it out. It's at Hugh McGann. I believe it is, yes. But he's up into a sitting position. Seems to be nodding to the trainer, saying he's okay. Well, Mr. Roberts is moving the scrum over away from him. So they're going in without a lock forward. They've come up with a scrum win. It's on to Gary Worth, and he makes a good inroad right from the outset, chiming into the back line in all sorts of places. Brendan Hall. Gilmeister. McGann's to his feet now. Johnny Tobin getting pushed back about. Well, I reckon he came back about 10 yards then. David Chuella searching up the line to Danny Shearer. Danny Shepherd, I should say. Chuella switches it back to Patterson on the inside. And the last tackle. Spina. It's a grubber kick in, which should go dead. It doesn't, but with Dorothy there to help it over the dead ball line, it'll be a line drop out to restart.
Good tactics by Spina, looking for the in-goal area, and a good chase from the Eastern Suburbs back line, and noticing Hugh McGann coming into picture there, serving out some time at present on the right wing.
Joe Cool. It's a pretty extensive sort of a drop kick too. It's gone well beyond the quarter line. It's finished up about 10 yards from the Eastern Suburbs quarter line on the fly, that one. Spina tackled. Joe Lydon trying to make a sprint there from dummy half. Oh, Gary Worth searching all the time here. This is astonishing football. He's had 3 runs in the opening 10 minutes of this game. Each one of them very devastating. Danny Shepherd stands in a tackle, gives it to Morris. Oh, pass round the corner, straight over the sideline. That was Joe Lydon.
Well, I must admit, on this occasion, a good ball from Lydon, and David Smith, no anticipation at all. If he had have read that play, he had the chance to make the break along the sideline, but he just didn't anticipate the pass from Lydon at all.
Yes, David, you got a bit of mail on McGann, have you?
Yes, it's a jarred elbow, Rex. The Eastern Suburbs trainer suggests that he's hopeful that it will work itself out, but I notice he's out playing in the centres, remembering that Eastern Suburbs playing a man short with Gary Prove in the sin bin, but this hasn't been a really happy ground for you, McGann. You may recall that he was injured quite badly here against Cronulla only 3 or 4 weeks ago.
All right, well, the penalty's gone to North Sydney, and John Dorothy will take it. 3 straight penalties to North Sydney. That wasn't a bad kick with no angle. Blinkhorn makes a bit of an inroad there. Rex Wright at dummy half on a Martin Bella. The big fella will need to stand deeper than that. He's a particular case. He needs to be able to wind himself up. Mark Graham. Right. Clayton Friend back to Bella. Bella goes through the middle of the ruck. Copped a high tackle. Has lost the ball. And he's still lying there. Slowly to his feet now, Martin Bella, as we just watch the action unfold. John Tobin on the blind side of the ruck. Smith gets a towering kick downfield. It'll go to MacArthur. Will he take it? Yes, he does. Takes it very well. He's evaded one tackle, and Hugh McGann comes to him and puts him down on the halfway line. They've got an overlap on the left here. If they can use it, there's 2 out there to 3. Now, they didn't use it. David's with Nigel Tate taking the tackle. Well, the referee going to put down a scrum there. Evidently, that ball was lost in the tackle.
Plenty of trouble for Eastern Suburbs. Hugh McGann still having trouble with that right elbow. I noticed as he went to that scrum, he looked around to the bench, gave a call. So certainly David Fordham, there could be plenty of problems still yet for the Roosters.
Yes, Graham, as I mentioned.
Scrum into Steve Morris. Morris has made a bust. He's going hard and straight. Gets a flick pass back inside. It's gone to Joe Lydon. Lydon's tackled about 3 metres outside the quarter. Onto McGann. McGann turns it back inside to Worth. Worth's on the boil. Eastern Suburbs have suddenly come alive. Truella. Laurie Spina. Spina makes a good inroad through the middle of the ruck. Gets to within 10 metres of the goal line. And there will be a penalty to Eastern Suburbs. David, we cut you off in your prime.
Yes, as I mentioned, Rex, the situation was they were hopeful that that would work out, that elbow injury. It would be a cruel blow to Eastern Suburbs, as you mentioned earlier in the telecast. Hugh McGann has been one of the outstanding players in this Rooster campaign in '87, but he does look still in a fair bit of pain out there. He keeps looking to the bench. He's now speaking to his trainer out there. Maybe a decision will be made in the next couple of minutes.
Well, this is Joe Lydon taking this. This is a bit of a change in the procedure. There's no time taken, and very quickly taken the kick, so it's 2-all. He's one of the quickest kickers you could ever hope to see. Gets the ball on the mound, walks back and goes bang, and that's it. Dorothy starts it off. Touched by Morris. Morris is decked about 7 or 8 metres out from his goal line. And McGann's been pulled down again in the tackle. That's the sort of undisciplined play that brings North Sydney undone. David French taking the kick. Fails to find it. Dorothy brings it back. Up over the halfway. Spun out of a tackle. Got it away beautifully to French. French gets it inside to MacArthur. MacArthur inside the quarter. Great play by Dorothy. French. Blinkhorn. You ought to have a look at these Eastern Suburbs backs. They're all offside out there at the moment. Dorothy back on the inside to Brett French. Clayton Friend. Mark Graham trying to weave his way through there. There are still about 15 metres out. Lincoln Bella loses the ball. Well, he didn't lose it forward, and he's been given the ball still. Allegedly lost backwards. There's a bomb being put up. Oh, Worth came a long way to take that. Sprinted in from 15 or 20 yards away, left high in the air. Beautiful.
Superb take by Gary Worth, a man that's been totally involved right from the kick-off. A couple of short breaks already made for the Eastern Suburbs side to relieve the pressure, and again coming to the fore on that occasion.
Danny Shepherd standing in that tackle, unable to get the ball away. Well, there's a terrible pass being given to Gilmeister, and he let down for it, couldn't take it, then knocked it backwards.
Lacklustre play by East, passes going astray, and Huey McGann in the background was the man that was cut out and grabbing his elbow. I think he's got to make the decision. He either forgets all about that elbow, or in fact he does leave the field.
McGann runs from dummy half, and now the referee's found North Sydney's Clayton. And also pointing to French as offside. David, you've got some information on Martin Bella.
Yeah, well, Martin Bella's coming off the field here at the moment, but if we can offer some excuse for his bad handling today, one of the trainers told me that he did have his eyes gouged on Tuesday night of training. He does wear contact lenses, and today he's not able to put those in, Rick, so maybe there is an excuse there for Martin Bella's handling so early in this first half.
Well, there's no excuse for Shepherd's handling on that occasion. Just lose the ball on the first tackle from a tap restart. French running a little bit sideways there. Is Hansen on for the man we were talking about just a moment ago, Martin Bella? Right. Blinkhorn. Still plugging away up the blind side there. Clayton Friend, Mark Graham. Tackled right round the boots by Gilmeister. Got to his feet, played it forward, kicks again. And there's a penalty to North Sydney. Clayton Friend taken out of the action there, according to the referee.
Sloppy start by both sides to this first half. More or less seemingly going through the motions. The little men trying to do their best.
Dorahy to a cacophony of sound in the background, kicks. And that's it for North Sydney. They lead by 4 points to 2. Gilmeister's a dummy half. On to Truella. Back to Tobin. Still about 12 metres outside the North Sydney quarter line. Spina. Pass to Gilmeister. One-handed there onto Brendan Hall. He's taken down a good tackle by French. Shepherd. Patterson. That's a line back inside there to Gilmeister, and he makes a good inroad on the last tackle, about 11 metres out from the North Sydney line. Worth gets a high bomb. It'll be taken in the in goal by Dorahy if he takes it. Well, he took it and lunged forward, made a metre outside the goal line.
Excellent take by John Dorahy. Plenty of experience, plenty of courage in going up for the ball and showing the frustration in both sides as after so many handling errors early in the game, they're now resorting to the bomb.
Dorahy getting very involved. That's a Graham. The opponents of Graham in a game seem to bring out a little extra when they give him a tackle. He really gets snapped in, sometimes appear to be snapped in half with some beautiful tackles. They reserve it for him. Dorahy found Worth with a beautiful tackle. Lydon's pushed off 2 of them. Big circular run. Going around the field. Goes around, gets... No, he's not. He's still going. It's a beautiful run. He's run about 75 yards to make 30, but all the way beating players. Here they go out to McGann. McGann goes right through the middle. Looks inside. Oh, he's thrown the dummy and gone. Dorahy has been done for pace. And McGann has come up with a marvellous try as a result of the Joe Lydon run.
On the State Bank replay, the skipper for Eastern Suburbs, McGann, of course, has been carrying his arm right throughout this first half. Here he makes the break. Gary Worth looking inside on that occasion. McGann heard the call, took the dummy to John Dorahy. He fell for it badly. Worth had swapped from inside to the outside, but we saw a marvellous run by Joe Lydon, another little man in the Eastern Suburbs side that has been trying to lift the Roosters in a very lacklustre first half. McGann, as I say, found the gap. He looked inside for Worth. Worth had changed his positioning. John Dorahy failed to get the man with the ball, and the Roosters skipper crashes under the post.
And the stupidity of that dummy being taken by Dorahy there, that appeared to be a very simple tackle. Lydon's kick is successful. So the score after 34 minutes of play, Eastern Suburbs 8, North Sydney 4. Mark Graham at dummy half. Martin Bella now recovered. Holding on to that one okay. Blinkhorn. Beautiful tackle by Tobin. Object lesson. Dorohey. Looks like he's found Worth again. Worth positioning himself magnificently for these kicks. And a great tackle by Clayton Friend brings him down. 10 metres outside his quarter. Slippery Morris, a dummy half. Worth, Spina, Gilmeister. Looking to get his arm free. You can see that from the fight he put up to get that right arm free with the ball in it. On to Shepherd. Pops a pass. Gary Promes on the end of it. Straight away put to the ground. Lydon kicks and will find touch. Only about 12 metres out from the North Sydney line.
So Eastern Suburbs in the last 5 or 10 minutes starting to put their game together a lot more. Joe Lydon showing all his experience there in finding the short blind side well and truly open, and Eastern Suburbs territorially starting to have the better of play.
Only a couple of minutes to go to half-time. They win the scrum. Dorohey chimes in as the first 5-8. Clayton Friend has a run from dummy half and makes a good inroad. Not a soul, not a bleeding soul was there to back him up. Dorohey. Blinkhorn. Pounded to the ground by Truella. Brockwell tackled on the 10-yard line. Rex Wright. There's Clayton Friend, and again they found Worth. They've got to put their kicks away from this fella. He's running them ragged. He never kicks himself, he just brings the ball back with brilliant runs. And they're constantly kicking directly to him. John Tobin. David Truella. Brendan Hall. I thought there was a little knock on there, but yes, the referee did too. Just a little one, a tinsy one. Watch it, there it was. That's Patterson, the front row forward going to dummy half, has always got the problem of heavy workload. That scrum was won by Clayton Friend. Out to Dorohey. Steve Casey chimes in. There's French showing, oh, he's broken away. He's surged away. Ian French has scored a brilliant solo try. Just left him standing. Just accelerated suddenly. Clapped on the gas and went. See it again.
For 39 minutes of the first half, Ian French, well, he's come to life, but I was about to say for 39 minutes, Gary Worth has been the star of the first half for Eastern Suburbs, but on this occasion, guilty, with only a minute to go before half-time, of not dropping back into his position. He was up in the defensive line, he'd been there from the scrum, decided to stay there for the second tackle. Ian French sided the gap. Not a soul back for Eastern Suburbs, and he only had to run about 35 metres to touchdown. Nobody there chasing, nobody in support either. And away he goes for the answer for North Sydney.
Well, nobody but Laurie Spina was there, but by heavens, that was a fine try, showing the incredible acceleration this fella's got. He's got it. So, at half-time, we've got a scoreline that reads North Sydney 10, Eastern Suburbs 8. And there's a change to the Eastern Suburbs side, and David Fordham's got a report on that. David.
Thanks, Rex. Yes, the story is that Ubergard, who battled on bravely during that first half and scored that vital try, has been replaced by a seasoned campaigner, the captain of the reserve grade, Horry Hastings. Kevin Hastings, of course, as you remember in the first round, at another very tight clash between these two sides, kicked the vital field goal at North Sydney, able to give the Roosters a 5-4 victory. North Sydney, no changes, and you may notice, Rex, the lights are on at Henson Park in very dismal conditions.
OK, thanks, David. Yes, well, let me say that I watched the full reserve grade game, and Kevin Hastings was the man of that match. He had a splendid game, scored a try, was kicking for touch beautifully, so he's well and truly in form. Dorahy drives the ball, and the man we're talking about, Kevin Hastings, takes it, gives it to Lydon. Lydon brings it back to the 10-yard line. It'll be up to Eastern Suburbs to get themselves out of this territory pretty quick smart. Gilmeister's got it there. He's gone about 2 metres further. Truella linking up and making it out to the quarter. That's a bit of easy yardage. There's Hastings getting in a kick. Early days. Goes to Simmons, who's tackled on the halfway line. Brendan Hall was the man that tackled him. John Dorahy running sideways, and he made about a metre forward. That's big Martin Bella coming on the surge there. He made about a 7-metre gain on that occasion. Mark Graham, just as I mentioned earlier, he always seems to bring out the best in the defenders. They literally knocked him backwards there. Blinkhorn's given the ball up, dropped it, fell on it again. But that's not the sort of thing that North Sydney lead. Well, that came because he was looking at the opposition. Tries in the first half went to McGahn for Eastern Suburbs and Ian French for North Sydney. Well, there, John Dorahy came in as an extra man into the North Sydney backline there, and a player fell over outside him. There's French, the scorer of the astonishing North Sydney try. Well, Blinkhorn's made amends for that drop ball, come up with a strong bunt. He's now getting a pass away. He goes again, gets it to Rex Wright. Eastern Suburbs in a little bit of disarray at the moment. Clayton Friend, back to Thomas, to Graham, on to Bella. We're only about 4 metres away. Dorahy goes for a drop at goal. And it's successful. So that's Frank Stanton's plan, is to amass as many field goals as possible.
The replay will show the lack of urgency in the play right throughout this game. The pass was a shocker. It landed. Dorahy had all the time in the world to regather and put the extra point over.
Well, he scored 7 points so far. David Smith to kick off. Gets it down to Dorahy in the end goal. Slips and falls as he comes to the defence. Still just inside their quarter. MacArthur away to right. Ball hit him on the chest and ricocheted in the air. Mark Graham. Dorahy's driving kick goes to Gary Worth. And the crowd are appealing for offside by the North Sydney players, but not given. Lydon nearly driven over the sideline there. John Tobin. Just around about halfway. Truella. And there's Patterson coming to grief. The open side of the ruck. Spinner. Brendan Hall back to Spinner. Makes a good inroad, but picked up by French there. Bennett Hall, Kevin Hastings. Little kick and chase. And Dorahy's busted between them, going right back upfield. It's a great run by the veteran fullback. Clayton Friend. French on the end of that. That's the 5'8" French. His brother stands in a tackle. Mark Graham trying to dummy his way through that situation, couldn't do it. They're just over the halfway line. Last tackle. Clayton's Friend's kick has ricocheted off an Eastern Suburbs player and has fallen on. Hastings, Smith.
Kevin Hastings very keen to try and force that ball out wide, as we see the penalty now go for the players not allowing Smith to his feet to play the ball. Brett French, the man incurring the penalty. But Kevin Hastings was starting to search immediately out into the back line. It just goes to show how much they miss Hugh McGahn. He really is the ball runner in the Eastern Suburbs pack. Kevin Hastings more so of an organiser, so that starts to place a lot of importance on the likes of David Truella, who's going to have to do a lot of running from dummy half to take pressure off the forwards when they're caught near their own quarter line.
Joe Lydon's taken another very casual kick for touch on that occasion. He's only gained about 6 yards. There's the ball being fallen on. It was a bit of clumsy work, and Kevin Hastings standing over that, shaking his head in despair. He's playing at lock forward at the moment for Eastern Suburbs. It's a clean heel to North. And Mr. Roberts, as usual, going on with a little bit of histrionics here, saying 1, 2, 3, 4, indicating 4 Eastern Suburbs players are all offside.
Well, the man was Kevin Hastings, who in the lock forward role, he must stay in the scrum, packed in the scrum until the ball comes out. He was certainly well out on that occasion, was going to cut off Clayton Friend, who was still waiting for the ball to come out on the Eastern Suburbs, on the North Sydney side.
Dorahy now kicks for touch. Finds it on the quarter. Now, this is a good opportunity for North Sydney. They can, if they pound away here and just keep the ball for 6, they've got a chance to do something. There's one gone there. Rex Wright goes for a sprint. He's got within 10 metres. That's 2.
Mark Graham's the danger man on the North Sydney blind side.
And there he is, receiving the ball now. He's made a half bust. Got through a first tackle. Dorahy, Clayton Friend, Brockwell, back to Friend. A little bit of a punch thrown. Tobin standing there. They ought to get on with it. This French going within half a yard. And there's another penalty. That's the sort of thing that can happen when a team gets desperate. Eastern Suburbs, desperate to save the try, have conceded a penalty. Straight out matter of falling on the ball in a ruck area. Dorahy raises the flag, so North Sydney squirt away a little bit further. They lead by 13 points to 8. The kickoff stopped by Casey with a foot. Now, it should be fairly methodical stuff from here on in, with some good dummy half running, and then a decent sort of kick at the end with very strong chases. Well, Dorahy took another option there. They're going to get away with it by the look of it. They are. Well, that's a very, very lucky bounce there for Mark Graham, getting a kick in, but nonetheless it was a good kick.
Excellent kick from Mark Graham, and the game was starting to roll Eastern Suburbs way just prior to the break. Then that snap try by Ian French, and now the game has certainly turned around, and Eastern Suburbs are going to have to look to their back line to get themselves out of this one this afternoon. They have to look to this man with the ball, Gary Worth, who's been a worry right throughout.
Well, he's got it away to Smith. Smith's going up the sideline, got it away there beautifully to Slippery Morris. Morris is going to go down there. He's been ankle tapped. An excellent effort. And they've got play within 8 metres now of the North Sydney line. Away to Gary Prame. He goes straight. Tries to get a pass away. North Sydney come up with it. They should just keep it. That was a senseless, absolutely dumb pass for him to throw there. There wasn't an Eastern Suburbs player within a bull's roar.
And he certainly did look to that back line to try and get themselves out of danger. The man that turned the game prior to half-time, Ian French, with that try. Great pace from the back rower to cut down Steve Morris.
Graham. Oh, there again, they find that extra yard when they see him coming. Mark Graham. Tobin was the man on that occasion. About 18 minutes gone in this half. Clayton French switching the play from one side to the other. Casey, looks right. Trying a long-range drop. It's not going to have the distance. Taken by Worth. The pass out to Lydon. Lydon kicks ahead. It's a race for the ball. Lydon's won the race. And that's going to be a North Sydney put in, but it's gone about 70 yards along the sideline there with Lydon showing a clean pair of heels.
And it goes to show you the only answer for Eastern Suburbs to get out of trouble this afternoon. They've got a ton of pace in the back line, and in the last 21 minutes of this game, they've got to continue to search out wide. Incredible speed to Joe Lydon.
Again, says the referee, 13 points to 8 is the scoreline. And Eastern Suburbs get a penalty for loose arm. It's a differential, of course. So back come the Eastern Suburbs Roosters. Trying to resurrect something out of this match. Onto Gilmeister, very hard, strong run there, but knocked base over apex at the end of it. Danny Shepherd. They're only about 18 metres out from the line now. Tobin. Spina switched across the ruck. Plenty of work in there being done by Clayton Friend. Chuella. Got his pass on to Hastings, and it was Clayton Friend on the end of it. Oh, Worth picks up a beautiful ball on the volley. He goes within 2 metres. Last tackle coming up now. Spina puts a kick through. It's been taken. Oh, and Slippery Morris has dropped it. The ball ricocheted and Slippery Morris dropped it over the end goal area.
And Slippery Morris certainly said it all there. It showed on his face. The replay came his way, wasn't quite prepared. All he had to do was hang on to the ball. 6 points was there for the taking underneath the black dot.
Another replacement there for Eastern Suburbs, David.
No, it's in fact for North Sydney, Rex. Martin Bella, who are obviously feeling the effects of Tuesday night's torrid encounter at the Sydney Cricket Ground against New South Wales, leaving the field, and his replacement wearing number 26 is Steve Hanson, the man that replaced him in the first half when Bella spent that time in the head bin.
Okay, well, the same fella, Hanson, laid on a try for them last week with a beautiful pass off his shoulder. Cannon gets that long kick downfield. It's searching for the line. It's been kept in field by Lydon. Worth's got him. And now Worth's taken the tackle. Lydon's a dummy half. Tony Milrose. Brendan Hall. Mark Graham was the defender. Milrose spins a long pass out to Spina. Give it to Gary Prome. He's set off upfield, going very, very strongly. to Brendan Hall, and Brendan Hall's going to go in and score a try underneath the post. Astonishing turnaround in play. See it again on the instant replay.
On the State Bank replay, it came out of nothing. If they were ever going to cause any more trouble for North Sydney in the last 10-12 minutes of this game, it was going to be out wide. Gary Prohm found the gap. He couldn't get the ball away to Steve Morris. John MacArthur kept pace with him on the wing. Brendan Hall backing up on the inside. There was nobody else there for North Sydney. All he had to do was to keep on stretching out. All important 6 points now, right under the black dot is where they needed to score this one. The ball came out. Tony Melrose saw that it was on. Great long ball from Melrose. Spina had nothing on. There was plenty of North Sydney defenders, but they allowed him to stand in the tackle. Gary Prohm took the reverse ball back inside. He saw that he could have the opportunity of a man outside and then in, but Johnny MacArthur never gave up chasing, cut out one of the options, and Brendan Hall backing up on the inside. Eastern Suburbs looking to get out of jail, and they should do just that with the conversion now from right in front.
With 10 minutes to go, I know exactly how Frank Stanton feels at the moment. The coach of the North Sydney side, as Joe Lydon puts the extras on, and suddenly we've got a scoreline that reads East 14, North 13. There's Frank Stanton. I know exactly how he feels. I've discussed this matter with him. And he says that at times his stomach churns over. Well, they've got 10 minutes to resurrect the problem. They've got to stay down this end of the field. Steve Morris coming out about 13 metres. Patterson running. On to Tobin. Well, he's been battling. He's gone about 15 yards sideways, but not an inch of ground has he gained. Kevin Hastings. A pass to Worth. Melrose's kick. Taken by Dorohey, back near his quarter. He can bring it back to a fair way. That's a good run by Dorohey, who's not let his side down today. MacArthur straightening it up. Cannon standing there. Took that ball way above his head. Nigel Tate. Rockwell. To work their way down here in the attempt at a field goal or a penalty. Wright gets it onto Nigel Tate, and he hopped and hopped and hopped there on one leg as Brendan Hall's tackle was quite ineffective. Long cut out pass to MacArthur. Loses the ball forward. He's playing the advantage. It's gone to Gary Worth. And Worth knocks on. So that's the astonishing thing about luck on a football field. The advantage was played and it didn't come off, so the scrum comes all the way back. I think that's about the first error Worth's made all day. Again, an Eastern Suburbs scrum win. With the feed. (14-13). Eastern Suburbs leading North Sydney. 2 tries and 3 goals to a try, 4 goals and a field goal. Okay, Patterson's to his feet. Truella goes for a bit of a jog up the blind side there. Under instructions now, I would think, to play it very tight and safe for the last few minutes to obviate any chance of a loose ball going astray or a penalty being given. There they go. That's pretty steady stuff. One man off the ruck, goes as far as he can. Wouldn't be surprised, as I mentioned, Hastings to have a long-range kick at goal here. Got it away to Spina. Spina still motoring slowly forward, surrounded by defenders. Gilmeister. Now Hastings got a high kick there. It's going to be taken by Simmons. There's no knock on. Was facing his goal line when he dropped it. Out to Dorohey. They've got to take risks now. Cannon, beautifully tackled. Chihuahua was the man. Oh, Hansen got a stiff arm there. He's been set off.
Well, it's a sensation late in the game for Eastern Suburbs. They've already lost Hugh McGann. Very similar to the incident we saw last week with Canterbury Bankstown's David Gillespie. These forwards, the men known as hitmen in the game of rugby league, are starting to certainly see the difference in, say, only 5 or 6 inches in this game of rugby league. Replay there showing that maybe Gilmeister might have been a little bit unlucky, looking as though it was around the throat region. But then again, David Gillespie was arguing that point last Monday night with the rugby league judiciary.
Well, the ruling is if it's above the shoulders, that's it. Anything above the shoulders. Well, that was quite definitely above the shoulders. Whether or not he'll be exonerated, only the judiciary know. But at the moment, Eastern Suburbs are short-handed for the rest of this particular game. Eastern Suburbs would not have long to wait. We've been inside the last 5 minutes for some time. Well, we're in injury time now, so it's got to go any time, the hooter. Now, what they need is a penalty. Out to Cannon. Cannon out to French. It's out to Simmons. Simmons is going upfield. He's not the quickest winger in Sydney, but he's useful. There's the hooter. So Eastern Suburbs get the points, get a man sent off, and it's all been just too much for North Sydney. They had the winning of the game at half-time, and it just couldn't go their way. Eastern Suburbs 14, North Sydney 13. McGann and Hall scored tries for Eastern Suburbs. Lydon 3 goals. Ian French a try for North Sydney. Dorohey 4 goals and a field goal. That's the way it all happened here in a game that I feel rather sorry for North Sydney.
Every week they're at it, never daring to let up. Because winning's the only thing that counts when you're playing for the Winfield Cup. It doesn't matter if you're famous or a youngster making his way. There's only one thing that matters, and that's how well you play. That's what the big game's all about. Giving it the best you can. Always being a leader, never bowing to any man. Giving it all you know, giving it your best shot. Making every step a winner, proving what it takes you got. Every week they're at it, giving it their all. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
Well, there was one major upset over the weekend. Let's now go to all the highlights of the other 3 games played last Sunday.
At Seaford Sports Ground, the Illawarra Steelers scored first through Dean Carney. Canberra hit back early in the second half after trailing 8-4 at half-time. Chris O'Sullivan was the try scorer. The Raiders were on the surge again shortly afterwards. Gary Belcher made the bust and Chris Kinner finished it by showing exceptional pace. The Steelers bridged the gap when Steve Larder crossed for a converted try. However, this superb solo effort by Kinner was the final nail in Illawarra's hopes. At Endeavour Field, one of the gutsiest wins of the season to St George, but Cronulla looked in charge early on, going 2 up after 7 minutes. Minutes later, the Sharks show the value of keeping the ball alive. Dan Staines eventually puts up the kick, and Jonathan Docking comes down with it. St George came back 7 minutes before half-time. Ricky Walford was first to a loose ball, and his quick hands put Michael Beattie over. Seconds before the break, Billy Johnston reverts to boxing and gets a 10-minute rest for his troubles. And 5 minutes into the second half, even more unsaintly behaviour with Glenn Burgess going high on English import Michael Gregory. The referee gives Burgess an early mark. St George seemed to be galvanised into action. Linane from dummy half to Cole Fraser, who put it beautifully around the corner for Walford, then back inside to the man who started it. At Brookvale Oval, the Magpies always play well, and today was no exception. Western Suburbs scored first when Trevor Cocker kicked, Dale Shearer fumbled, and John Allenson was on the spot. Manly led for the first time midway through the first half after scoring 2 quick tries. The first came when Paul Vaughton and Cliff Lyons did the lead-up work. Michael O'Connor added the finishing touches. But it wasn't long before the Magpies were back in front. Les White swooped on a loose pass before sending Ian Naden on his way. The Magpies led 17-10 at half-time after Peter Sheehan kicked and won the race for the ball. Most would have thought that Manly would score first in the second half, but Cocker gratefully accepted Paul Vaughton's pass. The Sea Eagles started their comeback midway through the second half when Stuart Davis crossed out wide. Manly was still behind when Cliff Lyons scored shortly afterwards, setting the scene for a cliff-hanging finish. With only seconds on the clock, the Sea Eagles snatched victory through Kevin Ward and David Ronson. By beating Western Suburbs, the Sea Eagles stay at the top of the Winfield Cup.
Last Monday night was going to be the first game live at the Sydney Cricket Ground under lights, and it was traditional rivals at the SCG, the Balmain Tigers, up against the Rabbitohs from South Sydney.
Hello, I'm Rex Mossop and welcome to this round 16 Winfield Cup match in Monday Night Football live from the Sydney Cricket Ground. And our first match of the series under lights tonight is between the Rabbitohs of South Sydney and the Balmain Tigers. Both teams are flying high in the Winfield Cup, with Balmain on 22 points and South's only 4 points away on 18. Balmain have had only 1 win in the last 3 weeks of the premiership. They've gone down to Manly and Canterbury, but were victors over Parramatta, and also had a strong win in the National Panasonic Cup final against Penrith. The South Sydney, they come into this match having won at their last 3 starts over Norths, Illawarra and St George. OK, let's cross to Graham Hughes with all the information from the South's dressing room.
Thanks, Rex. Well, no injury worries at all for South Sydney here tonight at the Sydney Cricket Ground. They're riding high at the present time, and they'll be looking for another big performance from both Craig Coleman and also Mario Fennick. Big news too, both David Boyle and Les Davidson are back in the pack from the State of Origin. Let's take a look at the full South Sydney side. From fullback, David Cruikshank, Ross Harrington, Steve Maven, Michael Blake, Jason Moon. The halves are Ellison and Coleman. Michael Andrews in at lock, Les Davidson, Ian Roberts, David Boyle, Mario Fennick, hooker and captain, and Lindsay Johnson in 13.
Well, the latest is, Graham, Benny Elias is fit and raring to go, although there are some rumours he will have pain-killing injections in his injured elbow, taking on the South Sydney pack here tonight. But as you mentioned, South Sydney have been on a roll. Balmain have to get back into the winner's circle here tonight. Let's look at how they line up. The side is from fullback, Gary Jack, John Davidson, Gavin Hanrahan, Ross Conlon, Russell Gartner, the halves of Scotty Gale and Michael Neal, and the forwards led by their captain Wayne Pearce, Bruce Sinclair, Paul Sirenen, Kerry Hemsley, Ben Elias and Paul Clark.
There's the lower grade results. Balmain 16, South Sydney 9 in the under-23s. And a very good win for South Sydney reserve grade, beating the second team in the competition by 20 points to 14. Mr. McCullum has got them away and they're off. Okay, Sirenen takes it for the first run. First touch of the ball in this match. Gets it just outside the quarter. Going back to the kicking game to Gale. He gets a elongated kick downfield. Still bouncing around, being fumbled there by Cruikshank. He's got a lot of running to do now to get himself back. He's got himself part way into the clear, gets a pass away to Harrington as he was falling, and that's a good start to South Sydney. Showing a willingness to keep the ball in play. Blake feels that kick that was taken back. There's 6 to go as signified by Mr. McCullum. Coleman, Lindsay Johnson. Back to Cullum, to Coleman. Still in their quarter. Coleman away to Fennick. Fennick puts his head down and barges. He's been running very effectively as a forward in the last couple of matches. Davidson away with a long sprint up towards the halfway line. Gets to halfway, put down 5 metres beyond. That was a great run. Out to Coleman. Coleman's taking the lead now. Gets a long pass away to Fennick. Fennick out to Ellison. And the referee has ruled that that pass went forward. Elias to Clark. Gets belted backwards 1 yard. Elias goes through a sprint. Weaving little run. And Mario was in there for his corner and is standing over Elias. It looked to me as though Benny propped on that bad arm of his and just lost control of the football. In and out. Coleman runs the open side. Directly underneath the posts. And there's a penalty. It is a goal. So the scoreline now reads South Sydney 2, Balmain 0. Coleman picks up the dregs, gets it out to Michael Blake. Out to Andrews, slips in the mud. Coleman. On to Cruikshank. Coleman. Coleman back inside to Harrington. Harrington taken down by Conlon. Good action-packed play. Davidson stands in a tackle, swivels. Davidson, Fennick. Fennick to Roberts. Roberts to Marvin. Marvin's going strongly. He's tackled only about 8 metres short of the line. It's the last tackle coming up. Out to Andrew, to Ellison, and he's in from dummy half. Found a gap on the open side and went through and scored the try. And the whole South Sydney side are congratulating him. Time on. And he's got it. So South Sydney now lead by 8 points to 0. Oh, Sinclair takes a mighty hit there from Les Davidson. Good shoulder block. Conlon. Good cut-out pass to Hanrahan to Davidson. Davidson going upfield. Stands in a tackle, then falls down about 10 metres out. Last tackle coming up, out to Gale. Benny Elias. Conlon, a pass away. Can he get it away? He can. Out to Gartner. Gartner should score and will score in the corner. Good one. Now he's going right around. It's a great try by the old stager. Russell Gardner strikes again.
Great football by the Tigers from one side of the field back to the other. John Davidson had them stretched, nearly able to get a ball away to Gary Jack into this corner, but great hands. Great hands by Pearce and a good long ball by Michael Neal. They call him the veteran of the side, one of the veterans in the Winfield Cup, but doesn't he know the way to the try line? He left 3 South Sydney players in his wake, and he certainly left them with egg on their face as he improved his position. It was all quick hands from the Tigers. Benny Elias, Ross Conlon, good quick hands. Wayne Pearce saw that they had the overlap and the numbers out wide and the cutout pass leaving Hemsley alone and the pace. Too much guile for Steve Maven from Russell Gardner. A great finisher and a man, well, he just keeps on getting on in the Winfield Cup.
Well, his nickname is Frog's Eyes, and I've got to say they were sticking out like you know what there as he scored that try. Russell Gardner, he owns up to 30. I suggest there might be a 1 or 2 more there, but he's still a great player. Have a look at the eyes. All right, so we've got a scoreline that reads 8-4. Ross Conlon should have no trouble with this. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say it. He's got it. So as we come up towards half-time with 5 minutes to go, it's South Sydney 8, Balmain 6. Benny Elias, cut out pass to Surinen. Oh, he gave him a don't argue. Didn't do him any good at all. Lindsay was Ellison. The kick downfield over Moon's hands, and it goes over the sideline.
And on the replay here, you'll see that it touches Moon's hand, so a minute and a half still remaining, and Balmain with the feed. They'll be nice and deep. An opportunity for Gary Jack, or even if David Cruikshank is flat in the back line, maybe a kick from Scotty Gale or Ross Conlon into the in goal.
Well, they've got time to use it for 4 or 5 and then to kick, but I would hope that they'll try to score a try on this intervening space of time here. South Sydney inside backs are way offside. There's a grubber kick being put through. Scott Gale runs onto it. Got it! Got it! Yes! He scored a try! He scored a try that was due to the fact that the South Sydney centres had run up so quickly. They were way offside. I called it before the action took place. See it again.
Well, as I said, David Cruikshank was the man that was caught up in the line. He should have been reading the play with only a minute to go. The kick was definitely on. I was just trying to read the mind of Ross Conlon, and brilliantly gathered. The man's got a ton of pace to get to the ball. You can always rely upon Scotty Gale. A great weighted kick by Rossi Conlon. And here he comes now, the magician on this case. I haven't got it. Yes, I have. And under the post he goes. A great kick by Rossi Conlon. I really thought that David Cruikshank had to read the play better. He had to stand back with only a minute or so left on the clock, and that's going to cost South Sydney.
Well, that's an astonishing bit of handling there by Scott Gale. I've always known this lad was a brilliant footballer since the time he was a very small boy. But to have a bounce come up behind him so that it was resting against the back of his right leg, and with one hand he was able to get control of it and bring it round to the front of his body. An astonishing display of dexterity. Conlon's ball has fallen off the mound, and he'll have to put it back on again. There's the hooter. 10 points to 8 when he kicks this, if he kicks it. 12 points to 8. Well, there it is at half-time. He's kicked the goal, so Balmain tries came from Gardner and Gale, and Conlon 2 goals from 3 attempts. They're 12 points. South Sydney's try came from Ellison. Goals, Ellison 2 from 2. Break, Coleman, and that's a penalty against Mario Fennick, and Benny Elias having a slight altercation there. I thought it wouldn't take long before that erupted.
Well, the penalty going against Benny Elias in the first instance for not standing directly in line in the play of the ball. He took off. Mario looking up clearing at the first occasion.
Ellison going to take this kick for South Sydney. Yes, we've got Sinclair's back on the paddock and Hardwick's off. The penalties were 5-4 at half-time in favour of Balmain. Blake at dummy half, running from there. Hasn't quite got the pace or acceleration of his brother. Here's Davidson. Oh, he hits the line at 100 miles an hour. He came from 30 yards. Oh, Coleman's dodging, weaving. He's there. It's a try. It's a try. He scored it on the line. The little fella's dodged and weaved and done it all. See it again.
Great dummy from Coleman. All the Balmain backs were offside. They had all come up very, very quickly. They all fell for the dummy, and great strength from the little man just to plant the ball on the line. That's a try. He was looking out wide to see if they had the numbers. Ross Conlon had come up very, very quickly. They all took the dummy. Gary Jack tried to get back inside. Benny Elias was the man that had just recently stopped Les Davidson, but on this occasion he couldn't halt Craig Coleman. Three of them were there on the occasion, and he busted through the tackle, showing a ton of heart and courage by the little man Craig Coleman.
Strikes it straight and true. Score, South Sydney 14, Balmain 12. Gets to his feet and plays it to nobody. Finnick raced in. Well, that's a weird kick by Coleman. It's gone to the side. Harrington should have been put over the sideline. It's a handover. Hardwick races out to the quarter line. We've got a touch judge from the far side come in.
I just wonder, there was a tackle on Craig Coleman as he put that kick in as it came at the side of his foot. The touch judge was quick to come in. As his opposite number, Michael Neal, you'll see the kick coming in here for Craig Coleman. I don't know, Wally, did you have a view of that?
I did, mate. It was the opposition halfback which hit him just after the kick, but strangely enough, Craig Coleman got up and ran about 10 metres away. When the linesman came in, he turned around, ran back to where he was hit and fell over again.
Well, where he's lying there right now is the ball game, really an opportunity to put the ball dead and 2 more points for Souths.
The stand underneath us must be packed. Nixon moves in. He kicks the goal! So the scoreline now reads South Sydney 16, Balmain 12.
And the ball's got to go out wide again to search for the numbers.
Well, Scott Gale elects to go straight ahead. Then he swivels and gives it back. Goes to Sinclair. Sinclair moves forward, not listening to teammates. There's the hooter gone. And South Sydney are victorious. And you'd swear there were 60,000 people here. They've gone berserk. The South Sydney fans are invading the stand, invading the ground now in their dozens. Absolutely astonishing. 16 points to 12. Favour of South Sydney. The try scorers have been Ellison and Coleman. And Ellison's kicked 4 goals. Gardner and Gale for Balmain. And Conlon ticked 2 goals.
A super long weekend of rugby league. Let's take a look at next week's matches for you right now. Balmain are up against Cronulla. North Sydney take on the Canberra Raiders. Penrith and Souths. West and Canterbury Bankstown. Parramatta. Important clash against Manly Warringah. St George against East. And the Illawarra Steelers with the bye. Well, I trust that you again have enjoyed all the action of Winfield's week of rugby league. Until next time, I'm Graham Hughes. Goodbye for now.